In the bustling metropolis of Mumbai, where dreams and nightmares collide, there was once a shadow, a specter of pure evil. Welcome to Beyond Borders. I'm your host, Luis Minaj, and this is Shivank, and welcome to our very first episode of Beyond Borders. Shiv, tell us a little about the journey.
It's been a long journey, lots to set up. It was way more than what we thought. We're a little bit nervous, obviously, but excited as well. First episode.
We're very, very excited. We have a very crazy episode to bring everyone, and we're going to be bringing episodes each week. So we hope you guys tune in and you guys are excited about this journey and with us, and it's going to be fun. So our story begins in the monsoon-soaked streets of Mumbai in 1968. It was a year like any other until police stumbled upon a gruesome crime scene. A family of three living in just a humble hut had been brutally murdered. The murder weapon? A sharp object and an umbrella.
An umbrella?
An umbrella.
That's weird.
It was a horrifying sight. Can you imagine being killed by an umbrella?
That would be devastating.
So the nightmare didn't stop there. The very next night, in the same horrifying fashion, two more lifeless bodies surfaced near Malad, Mumbai. The police began connecting the dots, and they knew that something sinister was happening. 7 days later, another family of three met their tragic end. Once again, with the same chilling weapons, a sharp object and an umbrella. This time, the murdered weapons were left behind. So, all the murder weapons had been sent to a forensic lab, but Mother Nature had her way. The monsoon rains had washed away any potential fingerprints or DNA at the site. And then fear and terror began to grip the community as the body count continued to rise. It became clear that this was not an ordinary murder. All the victims were chosen at random, plucked from the poorest sections of society, and met their grim fate via a sharp iron object between the hours of 1 to 4 a.m. As the city lived in fear, the police intensified their efforts. They patrolled the streets, but nothing seemed to deter this relentless killer. Tragically, 9 more innocent souls, all homeless, fell prey to this heartless brutality, sparking rumors that this was a practitioner of black magic. Why would they think it'd be black magic?
I think it's, you said 1968, isn't it?
I did, yeah.
So it was not much after India got independence. People were not aware of the modernization as they are now. So that would be one of the reasons. And also in India, black magic is really popular as well.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
So this individual, they believed, used black magic and could just vanish into thin air after each gruesome act. This all created immense pressure on the Mumbai police, as the killer was on the streets and they were not able to catch him. The city of dreams, which never sleeps, slept that night in fear. Shops, markets, and all other things closed early in the night due to the fear of this killer. People were feared about their own lives and the lives of the loved ones due to, the killer being out there and, again, black magic.
I don't doubt them.
So the Mumbai police commissioner at the time, Modak, was under immense pressure. He formed a special unit comprising 2,000 police officers. Quite a large amount of police.
Quite a large for one killer.
Yeah. This case was given to the Crime Investigation Department of India, which is also known as CID. Can you tell me a little bit about CID?
So this is a special branch in India. So when the police is not able to handle a case within a certain time frame, most of the time Indian government transfer the case to the Crime Investigation Department, aka CID. This is a crime department specially trained in homicides, killings and all. So pretty good.
So this is a special task force, eh? These are the best of the best?
Yeah, this is.
So leading this formidable team from the crime branch was DCP Ramanath Kulkarni, a relatively new recruit. There are rumors inside the department if the sense of case should even be given to a recruit. Would you give a case like this to a brand new
Depends upon the person. If I know the person and I can see the spark in him, I would give it. What about you?
I don't know. I think I'd give it to a veteran just based on the sheer brutality of these killings. I think you'd bring in a veteran. But, this is what they were talking about in the police department.
Yeah.
They were confused. Some understood, some didn't, right? New recruit to take on this case of this magnitude.
Yeah.
We'd see what happens. So even after the 2,000 person or police officer hunt, no yields. There was just no results.
Even after 2,000 police officers finding this person?
Nothing.
That's
the recruit
strange.
was struggling.
Yeah.
So Desperation led the police to make pleas to the public for help. And it was during this time that a retired police officer recalled similar murders in 1965 and 1966, involving a man named Rahman Raghav. Despite being on the police radar at the time, he evaded conviction due to lack of evidence, receiving only a 2-year banishment from Mumbai. So
did he commit the same kind of crimes at that time as well?
Well, they suspected, but due to lack of evidence, they couldn't pin anything on him. Now, what I don't understand is how does there a 2-year banishment from Mumbai? How does a banishment work?
The banishment is something similar like trespass. And in India, they can trespass from the entire city as well. So clearly depends upon the code. Maybe they were not able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that this person was behind the murders, but they had a pretty good suspect to banish him for 2 years.
Yeah, it's pretty serious.
Yeah.
So after months of relentless searching for Rahman Raghav, the trail had gone cold. But in the dead of night, amid a clear sky, a peculiar figure emerged. A man in a rain jacket was spotted, casually strolling the streets at 3 a.m. Kind of strange? Kind of weird?
It is 3 a.m. And in a rain jacket. And
rain.
Was it raining at that day?
Clear skies.
Whoa.
So, very strange to the police. So obviously the police, as anyone would, approached the man, demanding to know why he was out at such an odd hour. His response was anything but ordinary. He claimed he was just taking a walk as he enjoyed the peace of the night.
Middle of the night, eh?
3 a.m. Peace of the night? I don't know.
I doubt
Suspicious. A little bit suspicious. So, however, the officer's keen eyes noticed something unsettling. He had blood all over his clothes.
Whoa.
So 3 a.m., blood all over his clothes, just walking around. Weird. A little bit odd. So, when questioned about the blood, the man spun a chilling tale, explaining that he worked as a butcher and had just finished his night shift.
That literally gave me chills, man.
Well, his explanation seemed plausible, right? But when asked for identification, the man pulled out his ID card. Now, this is where it gets interesting. To the surprise of the officers, he identified himself as Subhash Raghav. Believing that he encountered a simple case of a late-night wanderer, the police verified his identity and perhaps too quickly let him go.
Whoa.
Yeah, so
the identity which he was carrying, was it Subhash Raghav?
it was Subhash Raghav, the identity he was carrying. So police didn't think much of it. They said, this is him, and I guess his story kind of makes sense, so we'll let him go.
Yeah.
So the police let him go. That's exactly what they did.
And also, I don't think so the technology and everything was so much advanced at that time.
No.
That they could verify it with
No, they just saw the ID, they went with the story, and they essentially just let him go.
Yeah.
So as dawn broke and the officers completed their shift, they reported the incident to their superiors in the crime department. Now, this is where it starts getting very interesting. The identification the man provided was none other than that of Subhash Raghav, the brother of the elusive Rahman Raghav.
Whoa.
But now, get this. Subhash had actually died 2 years prior from cancer.
Was it twin brother of Raman Raghav?
He was. They were their twin brothers.
Oh, I
so
see
he
now.
was using his identity.
And this guy was dead 2 years back.
Yeah, he'd been dead for 2 years.
Holy smokes.
So the realization sent shockwaves through the entire investigative team. They essentially had Rahman Raghav in their sights, and he eluded them. They let him go. So they had essentially come face to face with the man who shared the same name and essentially same circumstances as the serial killer they were hunting. Now, in a chilling twist in a case already riddled with darkness and mystery, had they essentially let him go? Because I think they did. They let him go.
I think too.
He proved elusive, and he proved smart. He proved cunning. He used his brother's ID, who had been dead for 2 years, to get away from the police, right? So,
and he was successful in doing that as well.
He did trick the police. So the hunt was far from over. The hunt had now escalated nationwide, and police began receiving tips from across the country. Then finally, a breakthrough, from a place called Pune.
Yeah.
A caller reported sighting an individual who matched Rahman Raghav's description, and the police obviously responded as quick as they could. They were on the hunt for this for a long, long time. Eventually, they went down there and they found an individual and they arrested him. Finally. Now, again, there's a lot of twists in this case, and it gets very strange, very creepy, and very dark, very, very fast. So, initially, during the interrogation, Rahman remained silent for about 3 days. Didn't say a word.
Didn't say a word?
Nothing.
And I know interrogation in India could be pretty hard.
How come?
They beat the shit out of the people.
So, but something changed when Officer Sharma, in a fit of frustration, asked Rahman what he wanted.
Yeah.
He asked, what do you want? Just, give us some information, tell us something. Can you guess what Rahman asked for?
No guesses.
Butter chicken.
Butter chicken?
Butter chicken.
After 3 days of interrogation, he wanted butter chicken?
Yeah.
He seems to be lunatic, man.
So the police, obviously stunned, granted his request, right? And Rahman went on to demand more items and food, so including coconut oil, a comb, and even asked for a prostitute.
Oh.
However, the line was drawn at prostitute. They said, we can get you butter chicken, but we're not getting you a prostitute.
One thing for sure, he was a pretty colorful guy.
He was. So when Rahman Raghav finally began to cooperate, he confessed to his first 2 murders, describing how he had attacked a sleeping family simply because he wanted the man's watch.
Just for the watch?
Just for the watch.
Killing 3 people?
Yeah, killing a lot more than 3, but just for a watch to start it. He describes how he attacked them in their sleep, and he went on to reveal how just horrifying these crimes were, including, an attempted rape. He killed an individual and then killed his wife because she woke up and saw the killing. So he killed her too.
Oh.
So
why did he kill the kid though?
Well, the kid was killed just because he was there. And then when they asked him why he was doing all these killings, he simply said he was just doing society a favor.
I know, man, what is going on then in the minds of these people.
No idea. But to kill this many people because you believe you're doing them a favor, it's pretty horrifying.
It is.
So he even advised that after killing all these people, he would make coffee and food in their house.
In the same house he killed those guys?
Yeah, while the dead bodies were in there, he was having coffee and watching TV, watching the news.
That's horrifying.
And what's horrifying too is he's probably watching the news about himself, about all the killing.
True.
Right?
True.
So,
True.
Okay, so then he advised he was upset and he had to leave his weapons behind at one point.
Why was he upset?
He was upset because I guess someone had seen him and he had to escape.
Okay, while he was making coffee.
While he was making coffee, somebody had actually seen him. So he had to leave his weapon behind. And that's when that police had caught it that first time and sent it to the lab.
And then couldn't find the forensics fingerprints.
No, they couldn't do it because of the monsoons, right? So he had to leave his weapon behind. And in order to essentially get a new weapon, he managed to go to an ironsmith and essentially make a brand new weapon just for himself to continue the killings.
Why would an ironsmith make a weapon?
Well, I don't know if he knew what the motive of this individual was.
Yeah.
But with that new weapon, he killed 2 more innocent men while making his way to the house. And the reason for the killing of those individuals was that he wanted to test the new weapon from the ironsmith.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
that's pretty bad.
It's pretty horrifying.
This guy should not be on the streets.
No, this guy was very deranged.
Yeah.
Right? So in total, Rahman essentially admitted to taking the lives of about 41 individuals. And
41 individuals?
Yeah, and those are the only ones he remembered.
So he took more lives?
He likely killed way more people than just 41, right? So, and a lot of this obsession was driven by because he wanted the clothes they had or the watches or just sometimes just at random because he thought he was doing society a favor.
He just wanted to kill people just to kill them.
Yeah, he saw them as a burden to society, especially the poor individuals, right? So to build a case and provide evidence in court, the police asked Rahman to lead them to the murder weapon that he had left behind, the weapon from the ironsmith.
Yeah.
He guided them to the depths of Mumbai's forest where they discovered the weapon, bearing the DNA to one of the victims' families.
Finally, he got caught.
Finally, he was caught. So Rahman was initially sentenced to death for his heinous crimes. However, with the help of a defense counsel, it was proven that he'd suffered from chronic paranoid schizophrenia.
What's that?
So he was having some mental problems, and so based on that, they didn't believe he was fully coherent in committing the crimes. They knew that he was something was
I
wrong
doubt
with him.
that. Killing 41 individuals and then thinking
Potentially
like
more.
he was, potentially more than thinking that he was just suffering from a disease.
So his sentence was then changed to just life imprisonment, which is, still pretty brutal because you're in there for a very long time, right? And this was a life sentence sent out by the High Court of India. Okay. So is that the highest of courts in India?
It's one of the highest. The highest is Supreme Court, and then it's the second level.
Okay, so pretty high.
Pretty high.
Good. So Rahman was initially sentenced. Oh no, read that.
So Rahman.
In 1995, Rahman Raghav succumbed to kidney failure while in prison. So that was the end of Rahman.
Karma got him, eh?
Karma got him, but for many, many years he killed a lot of people before succumbing to kidney failure. Fellow inmates recalled his claims of one day escaping and seeking revenge against the informer who'd led the police to him.
Holy smoke. So this guy was again thinking that he gonna go out from the prison and kill the guy
Kill
who
more.
reported
He
him.
wanted to keep killing. And so, he never had the chance to do that because he did die in prison.
Knock on the wood.
But you can see his mindset never changed.
Never.
And so the horrifying chapter of Raman Raghav came to a close, leaving behind a legacy of terror and the haunting question of what drives someone to commit such gruesome acts.
True.
The mind of a serial killer remains a chilling enigma. Thank you for joining us on episode 1 of Beyond Borders. Don't forget to subscribe for more bone-chilling tales from the darkest corners of humanity. Until next time, stay safe. Thanks.